So I will now proceed with the installation proper. I have downloaded the version 80.18, which has the support for Solaris, but then again with some conditions that I mentioned at the beginning of this demo. We're going to unzip this file. I'll do it first on primary, and I'll do the same on standby. Unzip. It will now give you the tar file wherein you need to issue the command tar -xvf, so to extract it, and I'll do the same on the standby side. Okay, there you go. Now going back to primary host, once you have issued the command, notice that you'll have the folder Dbvisit. So this contains all the install executable that we need to run. So it has everything dbv server, but then again, this is not yet supported on Solaris, so you can't have GUI at the moment. So we'll go to this directory, cd installer, and it contains the executable. Now we enter the wizard, and it will just prompt you for some questions and that we need to input. So for this, I'm using the same Dbvisit base directory that I used for version 7. Just enter. And now the next action would be, what component of Dbvisit that I'm gonna install. So for this, it will tell you which version that is currently installed. So most of them are on version 7. And obviously, we don't have dbv agent in version 7. That's why it says not installed. Then I'll choose one here because I'm going to install option 2, which is the standby core. For this, I'm not going to use option 1 because I'm switching from dbvnet to SSH. And then, like I mentioned earlier, dbv server is not available, so, and dbv agent will be of no use to me in the meantime. So enter option 2 to install the standby core only. Then enter. And I'm going to choose exit here. And I'll do the same on standby. So, see, let's go to dbvisit directory and installer. Install dbvisit executable. So it's the same. I'll input the same base directory. Choose one, install component, and I'm going to install again the core. Enter. And enter. And then I'll choose exit here. So since I have SSH enabled already on both primary and standby host, which means I can just easily switch in between. So I can connect to solz02 from solz01. Just like that. So if you haven't done so, again, I suggest to follow the steps in this guide to configure your SSH. So after software installation, what I'll do next is to edit first the version 7 DDC file and configure the SSH related variables. This is to make sure that during the upgrade of DDC later on, I won't have any issues during the file transfer from primary to standby. Okay, let's do this. So this is my existing DDC file, which is still in version 7. And first, let's check Dbvisit net port. So it's there. We'll just have to set the value to empty. And the next one is CP. Just set it to /usr/bin/scp. And the next one is RSH. So set it to /usr bin SSH. And there's one more left, the SSH underscore port. So we need to set this one to 22. And let's quickly save the changes. So once I've done that, I've enabled the SSH in a version 7 DDC file. Then I'll proceed to upgrading the DDC file to version 8. So the command for that is dbvctl. Remember, this is version 8 now. We do have a different executable. /d, the DDC name, devdb, -o, upgrade. So this should upgrade this process should upgrade the DDC file to version 8 and as well as create a repository. So it will just give you some prompts. Just hit enter. Yes. Enter. Yes, I'm not using ASM. Right. So let's just quickly check the directory where the DDC file is located. Okay, so it created a backup of the previous DDC file, the version 7. And this one now is the version 8, the upgraded version. This .db file here is the repository in version 8, so it's a SQL-like repository. And I'll just quickly verify as well on standby if both files are transferred as well. Dbvisit 7 standby conf. So okay, we do have the upgraded DDC file and as well as the repository transferred. So the upgrade of the DDC is successful. We've enabled the SSH. Next thing we need to do is to run some default commands to make sure that the sending and applying of archive logs are all working fine. Just to recap what we've done so far, we installed the software, we've edited the DDC file to configure SSH, upgraded the DDC to version 8, and I think I'm missing one more step, which is to apply the version 8 license key. So take note that version 8 comes with a specific license, so you cannot use the one that you have for version 7. So to do that, I'm typing the command here, which is dbvctl -d ddc name -l and supply the license key for version 8. Enter. and yup, it's done. So after that, you might want to test if everything is working well. At least run the Dbvisit default commands to make sure that sending and applying of archive logs are working well. So I'm typing the command now to send the archive logs onto standby server. So dbvisitl -d and the DDC name. Okay, so once it's done, I'll run the same command on standby server to apply the transferred archive log. So the commands are similar. Right, so it applied successfully the transferred archive log. Now what I'm going to do is just quickly run a logup report on primary. -d, DDC name, -i. So it will just basically tells me how far behind standby from primary. But yeah, obviously we've just applied the archive log, so I'm not expecting that there would be gaps here. But just make it a practice as well to run logup report so it will tell you the information. So, okay, at least I'm sure that my standby is in sync with primary after the upgrade. What you want to do next to automate the sending and applying of archive logs, since remember I'm not using dbvinet here and dbv server is not available on Solaris, the only option left for me now is to schedule the sending and applying of archive logs through a cron job. So I am going to share with you the link to our user guide, which is this one. If you haven't done so in the past, just make sure to configure a similar schedules on primary and on standby server as well. So the ideal schedule is between 5 to 10 minutes, and just make sure that this is to input the correct dbvisit directory. So in my case, I'm using USR dbvisit 7 as my base directory, so I'll just have to edit it here, like put 7 here. Same with this one. This is the command to send the archive logs, so just make sure to edit the correct DDC file name, as well as on standby server. So you can have this as a guide. You can set up something similar like this. Just edit the cron tab and see that everything's working well.